All right, so when it comes to breaking arms and choking necks, there's lots of good techniques, but there are definitely a few that stand head and shoulders, no pun intended, above the rest. And the crucifix is just one of those moves. I've seen it pulled off in every major grappling competition, the Olympics, Abu Dhabi, everything. And the reason why it works so well, which we're going to cover in a little bit, is because there's only very few escapes, but not only that, it opens up multiple options at the same time. So, but what's interesting, I don't even think I've showed you this before, but what's interesting is that why it really works is that it's almost a variation off of one of the oldest original submissions, which is called wakigatame, right? Which is like Judo 101, which is off of, basically it's a standing arm lock, right? And you can go to the ground with it too, just start going down, right? You can go down to the ground with it, right? This is wakigatame. It's very, very difficult to get into this position, right? Which is why not a lot of people use it. It's very limited how to get into it, but it's the ultimate arm submission because there's really no escape. What are you going to do, right?
I can roll.
Yeah,
not
roll.
really.
Yeah, exactly, not really, because as soon as what arm are they going to roll on? If they roll on that shoulder,
yeah,
it's locking the shoulder. It's locking this elbow also, right? And so the crucifix is literally just that variation of it, right? We're still locking the shoulder, we're locking this arm, and in the crucifix variation, we're locking the neck also, right? We're going to show how to go from one to the other, right? But the reality is that that crucifix position is just so dominant because of these three options, shoulder, elbow, neck, that you almost don't need to, right? So going back to the beginning, everything we started with, right? Here, why don't we just do nice and simple, right? The arm across, we cut the angle, right? We'll do Tanya Tosh, go down, right? And you push, right? If you're pushing, we have his back right here, okay? Ideally, what's going to happen is he's going to continue to roll. Only the trained people in this universe are going to roll back into you, right? Everybody else is going to turn to their stomach, and it's all over for them, all right? And that's how you basically get into that position from standing. What you say? Hello, can you see?
It's going uncalibrated, man.
We're here.
Take it to the
We are here.
calibration.
Hey, bro.
Okay. Okay, go. It's still recording.
Yeah? Okay. All right, come on down. So, we wound up in this position, right? We're going to get in this position again afterwards, but I want to show you all the basic mechanics of the move. So, why don't we turn this way along? Okay. We're gonna cover how to get into this from a zillion different ways, but let me just show you the basic finishes on here because then everything else fits into everything else nicely. So, what you're doing is arm between your legs, right? Hips on the shoulder, arm across the neck. That gives you three options, right? Option one is the elbow. Option two is the shoulder and the elbow, right? Option three is you have a clear line of sight open, whether you start behind the ear or whether you just walk your hand up, or we'll go over different chokes, or number three, with a choke. Why is this, in my humble opinion, better than this, all right? Because I don't have Garrett's arm here, so I only have one option, and that's his neck. And if he is highly skilled, right, he can block that. Or if he rolls over, right, puts his back flat on the ground, or any other zillions of escapes from here, I'm lost, right? Yes, there's lots of transitions that I can go to from here, but I'd much rather, from here, finish the fight three different ways and not have to worry about it. That being said, if you've ever seen this on YouTube or in competition, whatever else, there's a nasty habit of people rolling with it, right? Meaning that they get this arm trapped, and whether this arm comes in or they get this kind of, it's called a seatbelt grip, right? They do a dive over, put this arm in so I don't drag you down, right? They come over and they come from here. This is catastrophic mistake, because this is where all the escapes happen, right? Whether, again, he puts his back flat on the ground, right? Turns into me, I let go, right? This is last case, last chance scenario from here. And with a gi, it helps a little because you have some grips to hold him. But with no gi, if he rolls over in this, it's a slippery situation. Yeah, just by him doing that, it's a bit of an issue. I'll show you how to finish from that also, but the whole point of me going over these things right now are rules and principles, right? You have his back, you take it, right? You don't need to do a turnover, you don't need to drive him, you don't need to get him flat on his back. What you need to do is get your foot in this arm, hands around the neck, and finish the fight from here, right? Do not roll over, keep your weight on top, drive him down, because his only escape from here is what, Garrett? Yep, is either put your butt up and walk to my back, right? That's the escape. It's literally from the top, it's one escape. So if you know that escape's coming, come back. Right. How do you block that? He puts his butt up, you just move. You just don't let the butt go. And that's it, all right? And then we have everything else we're gonna work on, all right? So what we're talking about, take the arm, keep your weight heavy on him, all right? Make sure that his legs do not come near your butt, and I'm gonna show you how to counter that in 1 second as well, okay? Those are the basic principles of the crucifix.